good? All right, Keita. Okay, so first about me, right? Those of you who don't know me, I am Nana, who's grandmom's only daughter. I'm her middle child. I like to say I'm the only non-special one because we have the oldest, the youngest, and Sarah, who's the only girl, and then there's me. So I have to be loud and weird. It just was the way it was. So yes, I'm just going to read my notes because I didn't memorize them, but I'll do an all right job. What, you have something to say, sir? Okay, great. So, dear family and friends, we do thank you all for coming. I'm already going off script. Thanks for being here today and celebrate and remember our beloved grandmom. To our family, you are the heart of this gathering, the ones who shared her life across oceans and years. To grandmom's friends from her life here, friends from the senior center, from Dimple Del Zuma class, other friends just from the neighborhood. We're very, very grateful you've all come to help us honor grandmom. Your presence, it does mean the world to us, my mom and dad, and we know would mean everything to grandmom. She loved company, really loved people. Today we're all wrapped in that same warmth she gave so freely, so thank you all, honestly, for joining us. We're gathered to celebrate the extraordinary life of our beloved grandmom. She was born in London in 1936. She grew up during the darkest days of World War II, and as a small child, she lived through those terrifying German missile attacks. I'm sure life wasn't easy. Her own mom had gone up the road, as they say, which I guess means took up with a new partner, and young grandmom often found herself cared for by her kind Irish neighbors. They really gave her the love and warmth that she needed. The brightest light for grandmom in those early years, though, was her granddad. He used to come and pick her up from school, would sing "You Are My Sunshine" to her as they would walk home. And she would laugh when she would recall about granddad. He would make the comment saying, "I don't know what you have to smile about," which kind of proved how resilient she was. She just, had a rough life, but didn't let it bother her at all. It was pretty amazing. So that quiet resilience and ability to find joy amid hardship stay with her always. She carried those early memories quietly, but they shaped her. A deep gratitude for peace, for family, and the simple joys of her own. Grandmom was a proud Londoner through and through, and it included her lifelong love for Arsenal. She followed the Gunners with fierce loyalty, cheering them through every triumph and heartbreak. And among the players, she had a special soft spot for Mike Lowen. She especially loved watching him play. A lot of skill. I think it helped that he was pretty handsome also. She really liked that part. Like so many of her generation, she deeply admired the Queen and often saying there would never be a more dedicated or better monarch. Someone who really embodied duty, grace, and steadfast service is what she would say. She loved a good British mystery novel, sitting in front of the telly to watch her favorite detective shows. It's easy to see where Mom's passion for Agatha Christie comes from. And Grandma passed that delight in a clever whodunit straight to her. I didn't write that. That was AI helped. Back in England, she was a wonderful cook. She would cook delicious meals, but in England they used weights. They didn't use ounces and stuff, so she really didn't do much cooking here because of that. She was always nervous about it. It's kind of an interesting thing. I didn't know they used weights. That was Nana. She told me that. The American habit of measuring in cups and spoons baffled her. That's another AI thing. I didn't say that.
It's true.
Okay. But her love still came through in other ways. She always had a soft spot for animals. Cats, dogs, horses, and she loved cows. One of the best stories from her life in Kent was when that local dairy farm closed. Rather than get rid of the cows, she just kept them as pets. She kept 4 cows, and they lived in the field behind the house for a while. They would wander up to the fence each day, waiting for grandmom to give them a carrot or treats or whatever. She would pet them and name them, and she adored watching them, and they became part of that family. Grandmom often said her life really changed when she met Granddad. Looking back, I see how that love brought out the boundless kindness that defined her. She was always the one doing things for others. She was talkative, full of life, and the heart of every gathering. She made everyone feel seen, valued, and made them feel good about themselves. My mom once told her that she couldn't stand posh and arrogant people. The hoity-toity types, Nana says. Grandmom would just smile and say it never bothered her because she would say, I'm as good as anyone. And that's just, that's really how she lived. That was Grandmom. Quietly confident, never putting on airs, yet never feeling lesser than anyone else. That generosity touched so many lives. Giving outgrown toys to a lady who took them to an orphanage, sending Granddad to fix things for all the neighbors in England, doing shopping for those who couldn't get out, watching a single mother's son when it was needed. Single motherhood was pretty rare back then, so sharing furniture with those who were starting over. In the flats where Nana and them lived, countless people felt her quiet gestures of care. She passed that same spirit on to my mother, who carries it forward still. For most of my childhood, Grandmom lived across the ocean in England. She felt both close and very far away at the same time. Every birthday and Christmas, wussy, I would get a card or a small gift. It would arrive. And at the bottom, in her handwriting, she would always sign it, Grandmom, XOXO. And that XOXO meant hugs and kisses. Even though we couldn't feel her, we knew it came straight from her heart. She never forgot any birthday, anniversary, or special occasion. Not for me, not for my family, not later, not for her grandchildren. When Granddad passed away a few years ago, something shifted in us. We felt an urgent pull, a deep responsibility to get Grandmom here. The immigration paperwork dragged on for a really long time, and I remember in a moment of desperation, I sent a letter to a senator. I don't think it helped, but it did happen right after that letter. So she was approved and she came here. Grandmom was finally able to move here permanently. In that precious time we had with her after that, everything changed. Those XOXO signatures came to life. She was hugs and kisses in human form. Warm, oh my gosh, what a wuss. Overflowing with love and utterly full of life. She embraced her new home with the same open heart, delighting in going to seniors, as she would say. She called it, There she made many wonderful friends, and the staff and visitors alike were extremely kind to her. She really loved being there. It brought her so much joy and laughter and a sense of community that she really wanted. She even grew to love our local football club, Real Salt Lake. She really, really liked Diego Luna because he cried after he scored a goal, and she really liked that emotion. She was always pleasant, always kind, and I never once saw her get frustrated with the great-grandkids. That's crazy, because my kids are a little wild sometimes. She welcomed it all. No matter what the chaos was, she welcomed it all with open arms and a radiant smile. She was always wonderful to the youngest ones, to all my kids and my brothers, my family's kids. She was so great to the great-grandkids. Of course, most grandparents are loving toward their own family, but Grandmom was different. You could feel how much she genuinely cherished every second. She didn't just tolerate the noise and energy of them, she delighted in it. She made the most of the time she had, pouring love into them in a way that left, a permanent mark on their hearts. I am so thankful that my children knew her more than just XO on paper. Thank you all for coming. I truly appreciate it. She left us exactly as she lived, wrapped in the warmth of those she cherished. Grandmom, thank you for every card, every gift, every signature that kept you close when you were far. Thank you for the priceless years you spent with us, showing us exactly what it looks like. We will miss you more than words can say, but we'll carry your warmth. And your XO will be with us always. Rest in peace, Grandma. I love you. Thank you. All right. Man, what a soft.
step above Joe. I'm going to go up here, just to prove a point. But unfortunately, just like Joe, I don't have my talk memorized, so I'm looking at my phone. It's not in flight. I'm just reading the notes. I figured it was best to keep things short and sweet, at least as far as it goes for me. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Aiden. I'm Sylvia's great-grandson, one of them. There's a lot of them. But... Can everybody hear me? Okay, thank you. All right, I'm Aiden. I'm Sylvia's great-grandson, one of them. I'm Valerie's son. There's no one standing in the corner of there. Probably a little. Anyway, I'll get to reading. I know that as mournful and sad, the occasion of gathering in remembrance of her, rather than the celebrating with her, is a bit of a new and a downhearted occasion. But regardless, we're all still here to celebrate her and the impact she's made on all of us and the memories we all share of the, as I like to call her, the Queen of England. As close as I'll ever be to England right now. I'm sure I could spend all day up here talking about all the funny and joyous memories I have with her, from mocking her accent to shadowboxing her and dancing in the kitchen, all the way to our tradition of me buying her an In-N-Out burger when Nana would be out of town and wasn't home to make dinner, which she loved, by the way. She said that was the best burger she's ever had. Which, I mean, it was just a crappy burger, so. But instead, I want to tell you a few of the stories that I really believe highlighted the quality and the kind of person she is and what these experiences showed me. Like I said, I wanted to keep it short and sweet, so none of these stories are going to be drag-ons, but the first story takes place on Halloween night of 2023. As many of you know, my granny loved to take walks, which I call her granny just to mock her because I figured it was an American thing to do, so. She loved to take walks. More often than not, she was walking the neighborhood and making friends with everyone she encountered on her adventures. This specific Halloween, my wife, Danica, who wasn't my wife yet, but she figured she wanted to get all dressed up and go over and visit my family, so that's exactly what we did. Granny couldn't focus on anything other than the idea of going out to take a walk that night because she said Halloween in England was nothing like it is here. So that's exactly what we did. We took a walk and we saw all the decorations, but that still wasn't good enough for her. She wanted to go up to every house and talk to all the people in every single house about all their decorations and why they chose them. So we're just sitting there having a 20-minute conversation with everybody at every house. Ironically, she accidentally ended up trick-or-treating because people loved her so much they would just give her candy. So we may have been walking around for an hour, but by the end of the night, she'd accumulated more stuff than she could really carry. I mean, the pockets were full, and we were just leaving stuff for kids. So. The importance of this story lies to me in the genuine love of people she just naturally had. But we all know this well. We're all in the same room celebrating the same person. But I had never met anyone in life who was so interested in everything that they had to say. She had a love of humanity like no other. The second story takes place in the summertime of 2024. I don't remember the day or the occasion, but what I do remember is... What?
Protect your voice.
Okay, sorry. I'm looking down. I'll look up this way. Okay, the second story takes place sometime in the summer of 2024. I don't remember the day or the occasion. I don't remember why we were with her. She was just always around, so we were always with her. What I do remember is Danica, Granny, and I ended up just going for a drive in my truck, and it was warm enough that the windows were down, and we gave her the phone and we said, "Here, Granny, play whatever you want to play." And she played everything. We were probably driving around for about an hour, possibly more, and I have never heard anyone sing quite that loudly. Which, I mean, keep in mind, everything she was listening to was country music, so it was odd to hear country music being sang with an English accent. But she was singing as loudly as she possibly could, looking at everything out the window, just enjoying the time. She told us a story of how music has always been her favorite. Shows, games, nothing was even close to how music made her happy. So much so that one time, I gave her a pair of Skull Candy Bluetooth headphones that I got for free from a client I was helping. Just so that she could listen to her music all day long and not drive Nana crazy. Wherever she was listening to it. To make a long story short, she was always singing, dancing, and listening to her music. But one of the takeaways from this story comes from a conversation I had with her, where she told me that although music and the world has changed so much, it's never failed to keep her singing and dancing, because life is what you make of it. This showed me her mindset. At least as an old lady, that's how I knew her. What she chose to focus on primarily were things she enjoyed and loved, and it kept her happy and going through life every day with a primarily joyful attitude. As I said a minute ago, I could go on talking about her and the experiences we shared all day. I'm sure everyone in this room could do the exact same. She was an impactful lady. So for the final story, I just want to share a conversation I had with her. Sometime in one of the summers when she was here, I don't remember if she lived here at the time or if she was just coming to visit. It's poor English. I was sitting in the backyard and she came out and she sat next to me. She asked what my thoughts were about everything going on in the world, whether it had to do with sports, politics, religion, science, and animals, of course. We talked about it all. And the conversation itself wasn't necessarily important. But what was important to me was her desire to be involved and just to understand. She would always ask me for movie recommendations, which is kind of funny because I have a note in my phone and it has like a list of all the movies that go down, and I have like thumbs up if she liked it emoji or thumbs down if she didn't. That was pretty funny. I just remembered that, sorry. She would always ask me for movie recommendations, music to listen to, and many other things. So I would always give her what she was looking for, and we had a list of songs to go through and movies to watch. But the biggest highlight for me about this story was her desire for connection. She wanted friends, she wanted family, and that's what she was happiest about in the world. She told me that money didn't matter so long as she had her being. I'm not sure if I speak for all of us, but I know that in my life, it's my goal to grow every single day and to try to be a better person every day. And to me, that's exactly what she embodied. What she did was grow, whether she meant to or not. She became a better person every day and made her mark on so many people's lives, on this side of the pond and the other. So while we are here to celebrate her and her amazing life, I can't help but to feel like she has given us all an example to look to in everyday life. I didn't write an ending, so now I feel kind of stuck up here. But overall, I would like to thank you all for taking the time to be here and celebrate with us. I know that Granny would have loved it. She loved people, and she loved being the center of attention. That was always a constant. And although she'll be missed, thankfully we have all the memories of her in all of our lives and the memories we're going to make with her today. And just all the countless experience of everything going through their own lives and all their experiences. So, thank you. Still a step above Joe, and now we're back.
Did anyone else want to? Did anyone else want to share anything? I'm afraid we don't have a microphone. We didn't plan very well, but anyway, if anyone wants to come up and say something, they can. If not, was that? Yeah, we'll do the slideshow And then we'll be having the food and visiting. Looks like Dan wants to say something, so.
Do you want a chair, Dan? I can get you a chair.
Oh, I don't need a chair. Hank, I hope to see all of you at the senior center this week. Make sure you check in. Get the numbers. That's where I met Sylvia. I only got to know her briefly for the, I don't know, maybe the last year or two or whatever. I think probably just the last year. And that was because, well, you'll get to know how we fit in. I fit in on this. Is that I've been going to the Sandy Senior Center for 10 years or something like that. And I go on Mondays for wood carving and Tuesday for painting. And then they asked me to be part of the advisory council. And that's sort of like a party planners. But we take care of everything else that's needed there. So I'm not talking loud enough? Oh my wife was anyhow, I'm there on a Monday morning. She's standing there in the room with the carving room, and this young lady comes in, and she says, I'm looking for somebody that's supposed to be in here that knows a Danica Benjamin, his granddaughter. And I says, ain't nobody here knows a girl like that. And she looked at me, and then I had a name tag on, I forgot. She looks at it, she says, I recognize that name, you're him. And from then on, we couldn't get rid of her. She would come in every Monday morning, and she was looking for me. Just to say hi, because I was related to this Danica Benjamin. So I ignored her. And she would say, okay, I'll talk to somebody else. So we had a great time. She got to know everybody in the group, and when they knew that she came from England, everybody had a story from England. My grandparents came from England. Someone had been on a mission in England. And it was just great. And I was told not to call her Granny. But I didn't know her name. Until I carved it on a walking stick for her. And I says, you know one thing, Sylvia, what I really admire about you is that you came to the United States and you learned to speak our language. Well, the short of it was, I'm sure glad she came. She became a good friend. And she was always, I can say it, had a great time. She was more excited, I think, about the grandkids getting together than the grandkids were. Because she would tell them, anybody, if I was with her and someone walked by, she would stop them and say, hey, his granddaughter's going with my grandson. But well, my great-grandson, but it's easier just to say grandson. Well, because of that, in closing, I'd like to say, Sylvia became not only a real close friend, but eventually she became a distant relative. And I appreciate that. I really am going to miss her. I already know the folks in the carving group miss her because they always mention her, and everybody talks about her, and they'll still will be. And I'm grateful for the fact that everybody else in the senior center showed her a great time because she was really happy to be there, and she loved everybody that she worked with in the exercise classes and just hanging out. And she actually hung out for something to eat too. I had to give her some money sometimes. You had to tell her what the dollars were for and stuff. I did. No, but I appreciate it. I'm happy for the fact that she became part of my life, And again, the last thing I'd just say is that when Danica and Aiden were married, she had a great time at the wedding. And she brought French fries. I wondered, so where did you get those? Because I didn't stand there at the table. But then after that, she says, they were dancing. And she got me to dance with her out there on the floor. And I said, boy, I sure hope nobody sees this. Danica sends me a picture. Somebody took a picture of us dancing. But one I didn't want to see, but now I'm glad that I did. In the moments of time that we had, were a great time. She's always going to be a part of our lives from now on. Thank you.
My name's Roland. I was in the Zumba class, and we have probably about 25 people here from the Zumba class, and that's how much they loved her. And it was so fun when I first came into the class, because for whatever reason, we hit it off right away. And we goofed off a lot right away. And the fellas had to be between us, because we'd always be on the back row laughing, doing conga kicks when everybody else was doing something else, telling jokes, giving heart signals, just having a great time. And there were always hugs and dad jokes. Whenever I tell her dad jokes, she'd hit me. And one time I told her, I said, Sylvia, you're my secret girlfriend. She goes, ooh. I am. And of course, she gave me a hug, and she only came up to about right here, so a little awkward. And when we go to lunch with the group of Zumba people, she'd see my wife, and she'd come up to my wife, and she says, you may have 99% of him, but I've got 1%. I love that lady. She is special to me. And the joy I had in getting to know her and having fun with her and being a part of her, and her more especially a part of me, will be with me forever. And she'll always have that percent that goes to her, because she was just unique and a light. And she'd always talk about her daughter, who I never met until now, but hopefully she didn't say anything bad.
I'm seeing the faces for all of these names today, so
Okay.
I know stuff about you.
I don't believe half of what she said. But I love her, and she's just an amazing woman, and it was a joy to have her part of my life experience. So thank you, Sylvia.
It's so beautiful to look out and see everybody here. I volunteer at the Sandy Senior Center in the thrift store, and I've been telling families she would come in and go shopping and tell us stories, and we shared so many wonderful things together. All the dancing that happens at the center. When you have a live concert or an outside concert, she was always there. We were always dancing. And her love was just so catching.
And I'm also from the Sandy Senior Center. And Bridget, should we tell these people that Sylvia, she never walked?
No.
She
never.
ran. She was always running back and forth. The woman would not stand still. She was so much fun, wasn't she?
Fun.
Hugs and love abound. Yeah, we loved her. And when we found out that after her accident and death, there was a pall over the Sandy Senior Center that was palpable. That's how much she was loved and admired. We all just loved her. She was the popular princess around here, let me tell you, and we miss her terribly, terribly. I'm happy to have known her.
Me too.
Thank you for sharing her with us.
I told her not to run. But that big bruise on her face.
Yeah, well, she never listened to what we had to say when it was slow down. It's like a yellow light. She says, Flora! Like, slow down, red light a little. She's like, no. It's almost like a green light, but faster when it's yellow. Thank you so much. This is beautiful.
For letting that a part of her.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna say something because I'm a talker and Granny knows I'm a talker, and I know that if she saw me just sitting there and not say anything good about her when I have plenty to say, she'd be very mad at me. So I wanted to first start off with one of my favorite memories of her is like Aiden was saying. Oh, by the way, I'm Danica and I'm married to her great-grandson. So that's who I am. And my papa is Dan, the one that ignored her at seniors. But no, she really loved In-N-Out. And so for her birthday, we got her an In-N-Out t-shirt and an In-N-Out hat, and we brought her a whole tray of In-N-Out and a freaking, what are they, the shakes. And we didn't even get anything to eat because we were like, it needs to be her and she needs to know that it was intentional, and we only went to In-N-Out for her. Like, we literally were like begging the workers, we're like, please, like, just let us buy a shirt. Like, are there any left? Because at first they couldn't find any. And I was like, no, please look again. I think there is one. So they found us a shirt, so we got her a shirt, we made her try it on, and she put it on right away and started eating her burger, telling Aiden how this is the best burger in the world, literally what she would say. And I remember this one time, I came in with these hoops, because at the time I used to wear these really big hoop earrings. And she ran up to me and she goes, oh my gosh, Danica, those are beautiful, I need some of those. I was like, you don't have any hoops? She's like, no, but I think every girl should have hoops. So I was like, okay. So me and Aiden went to the store. We got her 2 different pairs of hoops because I didn't know if she was a silver or a gold girly. So we got her both. And the next day after we got them for her, she's wearing them. And a few months after that, she's still wearing them. She never took them out. She loved her hoops and her earrings. And I just wanted to say how lucky I am to have gotten the time that I've gotten with her, because there was a point, in my life where I was really struggling, and I had told her, and, she told me that the greatest thing about me is my heart and my ability to have compassion for people even when they don't. And I think, just like what Joe and Aiden have said, is that perfectly embodies her. She is a walking form of a heart. She loves intensely. She is passionate. Nothing about her is half in or half out. She's all in. Like, once she's doing something, she's doing it, and she's set her mind to it. And I just wanted to say how beautiful it is that there's so many people in this room for her, especially when she didn't start off here in America, and there's so many other people there, and even someone that have passed that have loved her, and like, that is like, what an impact to have. Like, I don't even think I know this many people, and I was born in America, and I'm 23, so that says something. And I just wanted to say that I love Granny so much, and I'm so grateful for Nan and Pops, because I love them, and they are a perfect example of what Granny is. Like, Granny raised Nana, and Nana has she's led the family with heart and compassion and charity, everything that Granny embodies, Nana is. She is kind and considerate and loving, and she's the best parts of Granny. And like, obviously they're their own people, and that's amazing. But like, Nana is Granny's best qualities, and Nana has led the family. She's taken care of everybody. She doesn't let anybody miss a birthday. She celebrates every milestone. And I think that that's a perfect example of the way that Granny loves, is because nobody goes unseen and nobody goes unnoticed. And I just wanted to say that I love you guys, and thank you for letting me be the family.
Do you want me to relay a message?
No, I can, I think I can speak on. Preston's gonna start the slideshow, and did anyone else want to speak?
Does anybody else not want to speak but's going to?
Okay, so Preston's gonna do the slideshow, and then people that want to leave can, and people that want to stay can. That's that. Just turn it on. No,
We don't have to
we're,
stay.
we're done with the memorial part except for the slide.